Hello everyone, how are you all today? Well, I'm coming on today to talk about some things that the Lord was dealing with me with pertaining to my garden. And I wasn't going to say anything, but it was so many confirmations coming back to back that I felt led to go ahead and mention it. Well, let me see. Let me see if I can allow you to see. Hold on one second. If you see, my garden is toe up from the floor. It's dead. And it was so beautiful, so big and beautiful during the summer and after. But it's dead now. So, I don't know if you can see. Let me see if I can let you see again. All of these dead leaves. And if you garden, then you know that dead leaves are good or excellent for your garden to prepare for the upcoming season. So I was saying to myself, maybe I need to get up and rake up these leaves and then go and lay them in each individual bed to prepare them, for this upcoming spring planting. Well, the Lord said, hold up. And I was like, I didn't like that. I didn't like what he said. And he was like, hold up. And then I heard him say, someone has planted some bad seeds and they have to be uprooted. They have to come up. Don't do anything to it. And so again, I didn't like that answer. And I was like, I can't see wasting all these good fallen leaves. I want to go ahead and prepare my bed. And so I began to try and bargain with God. I said, well, Lord, what if I just rake them up and just put them in the bed, lay them in the beds neatly, and just leave them there? He was like, And I'm going to tell you why. Okay. One day I was scrolling on TikTok and I saw a young man's video and he was talking about a dream that he had. In his dream, he was talking about the drones, and I'm gonna go back and look and see if I can find that video, and I'm gonna post it so you can see what I'm talking about. But in his dream, he was saying that the drones were spraying something in the air, and it was falling on the vegetables. I'm trying to summarize it. Long story short, God was showing him, different things about the drones dropping or spraying whatever it was in the air on the vegetables. And he was saying the Lord told him to go and pick up one of the vegetables and taste it. And he said when he tasted it, it was awful. He began to get vitally sick. It tasted bad. I think he said he began to start throwing up and had diarrhea and just started getting sick. And then the Lord told him, whatever they're spraying is bad and that it is affecting the vegetables. And then the man was saying something like, it's sickness. They're spraying sickness on the vegetables. And again, like I say, I don't like to talk about things without a reference or a receipt, if you will. And so I'm going to go back and find that video and post it. Okay, so after I saw that, I was like, because I was just in communication with God and he told me, don't mess with the garden and don't rake the leaves. Okay, so then God led me to Psalms. Let me see, was this? No, it was Isaiah 17. And in Isaiah 17, y'all work with me. Y'all hold on. Hold on. But in Isaiah 17, around about the 10th verse, it says, because thou hast forgotten the God of thy salvation and hast not been mindful of the rock of thy strength, Therefore shalt thou plant pleasant plants, and shall set it with strange slips. Now, if you garden, sweet potatoes particularly, they have slips that you could, sit in water and let them grow roots, and then you can plant them in the ground. I know that that's one particular thing that you can grow that can grow by slips, but it's several other things as well. And then it says in the 11th verse, in the day shalt thou make thy plant to grow, and in the morning shalt thou make thy seed to flourish. But the harvest shall be a heap in the day of grief and of desperate sorrow. Well, as you know, the current prophecies that have gone out about this particular day and time is speaking of Jacob's trouble, the day of sorrow, the 7-year tribulation before the return of Jesus Christ. And if you look at my other videos and my other content, I not only talked about it, but I posted other people talking about, like, somebody broke down and no man knows the day nor the hour, but they broke it down so well that you can kind of get a real good idea of about when Jesus Christ is projected to come back. Okay. So that's what made me think this is that day. Things that have been prophesied just have not come to pass yet. But we are in that hour. And I believe with my whole heart that at any moment, anything could happen. Okay. Now 12 says, and this is Isaiah chapter 17. I read 10 and 11, and now I'm fixing to read 12. Woe to the multitude of many people which make a noise like the noise of the seas, and to the rushing of nations that make a rushing like the rushing of mighty waters. That's 12. 13 says, the nations shall rush like the rushing of many waters, but God shall rebuke them, and they shall flee far off, and shall be chased as the chaff of the mountains before the wind, and like a rolling thing before a whirlwind. 14, and behold, at evening tide trouble, and before the morning he is not. This is the portion of them that spoil us, and the lot of them that rob us. Now that was, again, Isaiah chapter 17, verses 10 through 14. And I mean, if you would like, you can go back and read that entire chapter. It begins by talking about Damascus being taken away as a city. But like I said, I started with the verses 10 through 14, and you are more than welcome to go back and read the entire chapter of Isaiah 17. Okay, and then he led me to Leviticus 25th chapter. And I'm not going to read the entire chapter, but you should, so you can get an understanding of what I'm trying to get across. I'm going to start. This is talking about the Year of Jubilee. And the Year of Jubilee is supposed to be a year of rest. It's a part of the sabbatical, I think, don't quote me, but I think 7 years time 7, something about 49. That's why and I do have what I'm trying to say. I would just have to refer back to it to get exactly what I'm trying to say about the Year of Jubilee, which is 2025. But in the Year of Jubilee, we are not supposed to till or mess or do any kind of plowing to the land, according to the Bible. And again, I disagree with that, in my conversation with God, but God is God. God is God. So I'm taking what he has given me into consideration. I mean, hey, I definitely don't want to be disobedient But we're going to watch and see just to confirm of what he's saying. I believe he's saying don't do it, though, because of all of the confirmations that came afterward. Again, I told you about the young man whose video was posted, who he talked about the gardens being tainted. Then I told you God led me to Isaiah 17, and I read from the 10th verse to the 14th verse. And now here in Leviticus 25, where it's talking about the years of Jubilee, it says, let's see. Okay. Let me see, because I want to be as accurate as I can be. I'm going to just start at the 10th verse. I'm going to start at the 10th verse of Leviticus chapter 25, and it says, "And ye shall hallow the 50th year, and proclaim liberty throughout all the land unto all the inhabitants thereof. It shall be a jubilee unto you, and ye shall return every man unto his possession, and ye shall return every man unto his family." 11. "A jubilee shall that 50th year be unto you. Ye shall not sow, neither reap that which groweth of itself in it, nor gather the grapes in it of thy vineyard, of thy vine undressed." So I gather what that's saying is, don't till, don't plow the land. Neither, you know how sometimes if you plant a garden, some stuff comes back. You know, like maybe one of them had like a tomato or something fell, and then next spring or so it'll come back. And you didn't plant it, but it's there. That's what he means by that. Even if stuff that you didn't plant come up, don't touch it, according to Leviticus 25 and 11. Now 12 says, "For it is the Jubilee. It shall be holy unto you. Ye shall eat the increase thereof out of the field." Now I kind of got confused with that, because if I didn't plow it to get it to grow, and it growed on its own and I can't touch it, how will I have an increase? So I kept reading. Leviticus 25th chapter and 13th verse. "In the year of this Jubilee ye shall return every man unto his possession. And if thou," that's talking about debt. If you know about credit, after 7 years, they, I guess, take it off of your credit report or whatnot. So I wonder, is that where they get that from? Because that's basically what it's saying in a nutshell. 14, "And if thou sell aught unto thy neighbor, or buyeth out aught of thy neighbor's hand, ye shall not oppress one another. According to the number of years after the Jubilee thou shalt buy or thy neighbor, and according unto the number of years of the fruits he shall sell unto thee. According to the multitude of years, thou shalt increase the price thereof, and according to the fewness of years, thou shalt diminish the price of it. For according to the number of years of the fruits doeth he sell unto thee." Now I'm going to stop right there, because I want you to go read it for yourself. And in a nutshell, what it's saying is, don't plow the land or till it in the 7th year, which is the year of Jubilee. Whatever you don't have in that 7th year, God will, or whatever you don't get in that 7th year, God will provide that in the 6th year, which is this year. And we still have half a month left in this year. So there's no telling what God may do for the children of God. So just be looking out for blessings, y'all, because we still are in the 6th year. We still got time to receive that increase that he's talking about, to prepare for next year, which is the year of Jubilee. And he also stated, when he gives you an increase in the 6th year, that it'll be enough to last you 3 years. Because, see, we don't know what exactly we headed up against. And this is from a Judeo-Christian perspective. But again, I'm giving you where I'm getting this from, where I was led to, and I just encourage you to go back and read it for yourself. But basically, that's what that said in a nutshell. Now, let's recap. First, I mentioned about the young man who was talking about the dream he had about stuff being sprayed, and the vegetable that he picked up and ate made him sick. That's the first thing. The second thing was when God led me to Isaiah 17:10 and 14, where he was talking about planting and not reaping a harvest. And then Leviticus 25th, where he was talking about don't plant in the year of Jubilee, because it is supposed to be a sabbatical, a year of rest. And whatever you don't get or not projected to have in the 7th year, he will provide that for you in the 6th year. So that's 3 points that I have made pertaining to being outside and gardening as it is referred to in the Bible. Now, another confirmation, scrolling like I normally do, and a news article came up about the bird flu, a severe case of bird flu being confirmed in the United States. And it was like confirmed in Louisiana, which is just a hop, skip, and a jump from me. But and this sickness that came about, this person that got severely ill from the bird flu, they contracted it by just average backyard birds. Now tell me God ain't trying to tell me something. And because of all these connections, I have decided that this will probably be my last spiritual video done outside, considering that, because I am in the backyard. And I do not, in the circumstances, want to get sick, and I already have enough on my plate. So just passing along the information like I normally do. When God nudged me and say, go on, get on up, then I do. And that is what this is about. So now that's 4 points. 4 points. My garden is in the backyard, and now the bird flu is here. It's been here, but, this particular case is severe, and it's also 2 states over. So, it is a reason, for to have a sense of alarm, I feel like. And I think that the Lord is preparing me for the year of Jubilee. I would have to fight against the birds. I would have to fight against whatever bad seeds that been put out, abroad. Because he didn't just say this yard, he was speaking in general, period, So again, that's 4 points. That's all leading toward staying in the house for, this upcoming year. And I want to say there is a 5th point. I think that may have been it. But I mean, hey, and they didn't all come together. They came back to back. So what I mean is, me and God talked about this garden. He told me to wait. Then I was led to Isaiah 17. Then I was led to Leviticus 25. But first, before all of that, I saw that video of the young man talking about the dream that he had. So I'm going to take that at face value. And in my opinion, I think in this hour, in this particular point in time, we maybe need to just seek out more spiritual insight. I can't tell you what to do, but according to my beliefs, which is coming out of this Holy Bible, King James Version, or if you choose NIV or whatever version is best for you, according to this, and the other confirmations that came, I'm thinking that I probably need to not garden. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that it's worth a shot? Because to me, it seems like it is a lot of no, don't do it for whatever reason. Anyway, I'm going to go look for that video that I was telling you about of the other young man who was speaking about his dream. Again, I came from Isaiah 17, 10 through 14, and the entire chapter of Leviticus 25. Y'all be blessed out there and take this into consideration for your safety. Bye.